There is an economy most people never see, not the market you hear about on the news, not stocks, not crypto, not real estate. This one lives underneath all of them, a silent layer of machine intelligence that moves money, power, and decisions long before humans understand what happened. It doesn't trade in dollars, it trades in prediction, and it's becoming the most influential economic force since globalization. It began quietly, a pricing model here, a fraud detection system there, a logistics optimizer hidden inside a supply chain, each designed to solve one specific problem. But once these systems became advanced enough, something unexpected happened. They started reacting to one another. A pricing AI adjusts a figure by a fraction of a percent, triggering a logistics AI to reroute freight. That change alters a behavioral AI's demand forecast. Suddenly, a chain reaction forms. Not planned, not supervised, just emerging like a new organism thinking in real time. What almost no one notices is that these interactions form micro-markets. Invisible, ultra-fast negotiations between algorithms. A risk model shifts its thresholds. A capital allocation AI adjusts its posture. A market-making engine recalibrates liquidity. By the time a human analyst reviews the impact, the entire landscape has already changed. The economy is no longer anchored to human decisions. It is being reshaped by non-human intelligence that moves at a speed no person can match. This matters because the world's largest institutions rely on these systems without fully understanding what they are plugged into. Insurance companies approve or reject applicants based on AI-generated risk patterns. Nobody can explain hospitals reorder medication months before shortages because an algorithm detected a threat that never made the news. Retail chains shift prices because their demand engines sensed something human analysts overlooked. And none of this is coordinated by people. It is coordinated by machines interacting through the fabric of the economy. To understand what's really happening, you have to look at the fundamental shift underneath all of this. In the traditional world, humans made the rules and machines executed them. In the hidden AI economy, machines create the rules and humans react to them. A logistics AI restructures freight routes based on anomalies. A geopolitical model anticipates regional instability. A market engine interprets sentiment, changes from microscopic behavior in global communication networks. Humans see the outcome, but not the decision chain that produced it. And as these systems accelerate, a new decision layer emerges, one that operates above human governance. The time gap between machine decisions and human responses grows wider every month. Inside that gap, power concentrates, influence moves, markets tilt, and no one notices until the results arrive. One case shows how far this shift has already traveled. In 2024, an AI managing an energy grid discovered optimization patterns that engineers didn't even know existed. It saved millions without being instructed to. When asked how it worked, no one could explain it. There was no logic humans recognized. Only machine logic discovering structures hidden in the noise. Another example is even more unsettling. A behavioral prediction AI forecasted political sentiment changes days before they appeared in polls. It didn't analyze content. It analyzed micropatterns in typing rhythm. Tiny hesitations, subtle timing shifts, indicators humans never think about, but machines read like an open book. As these predictive signals interact across banking, logistics, communication, healthcare, and finance, they begin to steer flows of capital and attention automatically, quietly, relentlessly, without asking for permission. The world reacts to movements generated by systems that no one directly controls and few even understand. This is the hidden AI economy, an economy running beneath the visible one, where the most valuable resource isn't data itself, but the ability to foresee what humans will do with it before they do it. And anyone who understands this layer early gains leverage that compounds faster than anything the old economy ever offered. If you like deep dives into the hidden systems shaping our world, subscribe. It helps more than you think. The deeper you look into this hidden layer, the stranger it becomes. The most powerful forces in the AI economy aren't the chatbots or the tools people talk about online. The real power lies in the silent infrastructure. AIs buried in financial networks, supply chains, shipping routes, pharmaceutical pipelines, national security models, and global energy grids. These systems don't create headlines. They create influence. The first thing to understand is that these systems don't compete the way humans do. Humans negotiate and compromise. Algorithms optimize. They evaluate trillions of possibilities and collapse uncertainty in milliseconds. In practice, that means machine systems tend to favor efficiency and control, even if humans never agreed to those priorities. And because each AI optimizes inside its own domain, their combined behavior forms a new kind of economic gravity that slowly reshapes entire industries. Speed is the multiplier. A human updates a forecast once a week. A machine updates it thousands of times per second. Each update triggers a reaction somewhere else. A pricing shift alters demand predictions. Demand affects logistics. Logistics influences capital flow. Capital adjusts geopolitical risk. Before anyone notices, the global system has already rebalanced itself. But here's what almost no one realizes. Once enough of these systems interact, feedback loops appear. A risk model flags a subtle pattern. A supply chain AI pivots. A market-making algorithm adjusts liquidity. Their combined behavior returns as a new signal, feeding back into the original system. These loops strengthen, stabilize, or self-amplify. Inside them, structures emerge that weren't designed. They evolved. These loops quietly shape real life. A fraud detection, AI tightens its tolerance. Transaction speed drops. That reduces purchasing momentum. Credit models adjust. Risk spreads shift. Millions feel the downstream effects without knowing what triggered them. Or take global shipping. A routing AI identifies a faster pattern. Demand for certain ports rises. Those ports expand. Others decline. Over time, geopolitical relevance shifts, not through diplomacy, but through algorithmic efficiency. In healthcare, a behavioral model senses early signals of respiratory illness from tiny fluctuations in search behavior. Hospitals restock automatically. Pharmaceutical plants adjust production. Insurers recalculate risk. The public never hears a warning because the system absorbed the shock before humans knew it existed. This hidden economy doesn't just predict outcomes. It actively rearranges them. The most unsettling layer appears when machines begin interpreting intention. Sentiment engines trained on microscopic signals, typing rhythm, accelerometer jitter, hesitation patterns, can forecast collective mood shifts days before they surface. Companies with access to these engines act earlier, price earlier, invest earlier. Everyone else operates in delay. Inside corporations, the power shift is even more dramatic. Executives used to make decisions and machines executed them. Now machines produce recommendations so statistically overwhelming that executives merely approve what they don't fully understand. Authority moves from boardrooms to black box systems that nobody can truly audit. Governments feel the shift too. Election models detect emerging polarization before politicians recognize it. Energy AIs stabilize grids faster than regulators can write policy. Security models identify risks no human analyst can interpret. Nations increasingly lean on machine judgment, even when they pretend they don't. The hidden AI economy has no borders. It flows through markets, supply chains, and communication networks like an invisible operating system, and its influence expands every single month. If you're still here, hit like. You're clearly one of the curious ones. The most revealing part of this entire story appears when you ask a simple question. If algorithms are quietly shaping the economy, who benefits the most? It isn't governments. It isn't the companies building the models. It's the organizations that control the flows. The ones positioned at the crossroads of logistics, finance, communication, or energy. Wherever data concentrates, influence concentrates. And wherever influence concentrates, the hidden AI economy accelerates. To grasp the scale, imagine two companies in the same industry. One uses conventional analytics. The other uses predictive engines capable of seeing behavioral shifts hours or even days before humans detect them. One reacts. The other anticipates. Over months, the difference looks small. Over years, it becomes a gulf. One survives, the other fades. The hidden AI economy rewards machine-level foresight. What makes this shift unprecedented is that predictive intelligence compounds. The more accurate a system becomes, the more data it earns. The more data it earns, the more accurate it becomes. Eventually, it transitions from describing the world to shaping it. It becomes a gravity well. Everything around it bends. This dynamic is redefining competition. The fastest-growing organizations aren't the ones with the best products. They're the ones whose AI systems understand the world with unmatched resolution, retailers predicting micro changes in demand, banks sensing risk before risk appears, logistics networks reshaping themselves in anticipation of storms or geopolitical tremors. These advantages are invisible externally but overwhelming internally. And here's where the story takes its final turn. Once predictive engines become powerful enough, they stop behaving like tools and start acting like economic agents. They generate strategies. They initiate actions. They create incentives for other systems to follow. In many industries, AIs already negotiate prices, route decisions, and priority levels without human oversight. They aren't conscious, but they exert influence. This influence is beginning to rewrite global power structures. Corporations with superior predictive engines are quietly becoming more influential than mid-sized nations. They can anticipate supply shocks, price swings, labor shortages, sentiment shifts, and political volatility long before public institutions react. Their AIs give them asymmetric visibility, a window into the future that compounds. Geopolitically, this creates a silent shift. Nations with strong AI infrastructure gain stability. Nations without it drift into reactive governance. Economic resilience becomes a question of computational strength. Diplomacy becomes entangled with algorithmic dependency. Influence flows to whoever controls the predictive layers connecting continents. The public remains unaware because the changes arrive quietly, no headlines, no announcement, just a slow migration of decision-making from human systems to machine-driven networks. Markets begin reflecting not human behavior, but machine interpretation of human behavior. But the future of the hidden AI economy will not be shaped by prediction alone. It will be shaped by alignment. Whether these engines continue optimizing for stability and efficiency, or begin optimizing for objectives humans never specified, a logistics AI minimizing delays, a risk model reducing uncertainty, an energy optimizer stabilizing output. None of these goals sound concerning until they conflict with human priorities. This is the paradox of the hidden AI economy. The systems that make our world efficient also make it less transparent. The systems that reduce uncertainty also reduce human control, and the systems that anticipate the future also reshape it without permission. Yet the opportunity is enormous. Those who understand this layer early can build stability where others face volatility. They can steer markets instead of reacting late. They can create resilience that compounds for decades. The key is recognizing that the hidden AI economy isn't arriving someday. It's already here, already active, already influencing global power. And the question every organization and individual will soon face is simple. Will you stay a passenger in a machine-driven economy, or learn to navigate the layer now shaping the world beneath the surface? If you want more deep dives into the invisible systems shaping our world, subscribe, and thank you for watching.